Well, next this afternoon, Audrey Hepburn and Albert Finney star in the Sunday matinee 2 for the Road, a light-hearted story of a couple that takes a perceptive look over their 12 years of marriage. Sunday means entertainment here on Granada. At 7:45, Murder, She Wrote.
Our good wishes will be with you always.
First, we must go to the federal authorities and ask them to seek asylum.
The dangers of defection at 7:45, and at 9, Connie moves out.
Gone.
There is something with you that I need, but with me, there's always been the reason for chucking it. To see you, pal, and never looking back.
10 brings a threatening call in Tales of the Unexpected.
I wish you hadn't got this job.
Why, do you think it made much difference to us?
Partly that.
What else?
I'm afraid.
And with Jimmy Young at 10:30 and the late-night movie Nightmare at 11:15, this is Sunday here on Granada. Well, now on Granada, Audrey Hepburn and Albert Finney star in the Sunday matinee, a light-hearted story of a couple that takes a perceptive look over their 12 years of marriage. 2 for the Road.
From a bouquet in our hotel.
This England next Friday goes to a health farm for a slimline tonic. Next tonight, though, the new Avengers penetrate a forward base.
Worst affected North Wales. Rivers broke their banks and High Street simply disappeared under the water.
Not even the sun trying to break through the clouds today in North Wales could compensate for the damage already caused by flooding. In Dalgathly, the fire station was put out of action and 2 cars were left abandoned. A combination of high tide and torrential rain caused the Onion River in Gwynedd to burst its bank. The picturesque town of Dalgathly has never known anything quite like this for a long time. At one stage, police warned of imminent danger of the town being cut off.
It's the worst flooding that we've experienced in Dalgathly since sometime in the 60s. It was the very, very heavy rainfall during yesterday and throughout the night, plus the tide this morning. There was a fairly high tide at about 7 o'clock this morning, and this totally flooded the town and the estuary.
But the tide has since gone down, hasn't it?
It has gone down very rapidly from about 11 o'clock this morning.
How about casualties and losses?
Well, we have not evaluated this yet, and obviously there will be some losses and damage in the area.
Further north, a 3rd stage alert was declared in the Conway Valley as the Conway River burst its bank, flooding low-lying farms. In the town of Llanhwst, hedges were washed away and many of the roads were left under several feet of water, levels rising almost to the top goalpost of the local football pitch. But despite the rain and the high tide, some took advantage of the ever-present high winds to do some high-speed sailing. Many in North Wales will remember this as the night the rain came down and the floods went up.
The River Ethrow burst its banks at Glossop, where the normally busy A57 was flooded to a depth of 3 feet. Local residents were alerted to danger as firemen strove to hold back the water and police diverted traffic. The North West Water Authority called out extra staff to monitor the level of other rivers, including the Irwell and the Mersey, and reservoirs were checked for fear of contamination from swollen streams. As the height of the rivers rose by more than 4 feet in stretches, floodgates were opened in Greater Manchester to reduce risk to land and buildings. More than an inch of rain was recorded in Manchester overnight, and that's a quarter of the total rainfall for the whole of the month until yesterday.
And the swollen River Irwell may have claimed a victim when a youth who was being chased by police tried to cross the river at Stacksteads near Bacup last night. The youth, aged about 17, fled after being challenged by 2 police officers who saw him riding an unregistered motorcycle. The youth, whose identity is still a mystery, was swept away. It's feared he may have drowned. Police will resume their search for him when the river subsides.
But now they've withdrawn their help. The union says that BT are bluffing if they claim they can still cope, and with national talks moving nearer a settlement of the dispute, BT admits there are problems.
They have been coping to date, except for a few occasions when we've called for engineers. Such instances at Bromber Exchange, which affected Clatterbridge Hospital, Warrington Exchange, which affected the district hospital in Warrington. And the thing that really brought it to a head was on Saturday evening where Marsh Lane police station was in danger of losing its communications, and the NCUE members turned out on that occasion. And we're most grateful for that help. But now it would appear that we can no longer rely on any help whatsoever.
There are lots of buttercups around the ponds in summer, and amongst them I often find little animals like this, a tiny baby frog.
In 1963, World in Action made a film about these 7-year-old children. They talked about their homes, their schools, and what they wanted to be. They were filmed again when they were 14. We brought them all together to watch the films because this year they are 21.
This is Granada. Well, now tonight's film, Jason Robards, Richard Jordan, David Selby and Alec Guinness starring in the story of a plan to raise the Titanic. Next Thursday's film travels into deep space with the Battlestar Galactica leading a cumbersome caravan of interplanetary refugees from an interstellar ambush to a new and safer frontier. This is Granada.
The Soviets have sent missiles to Castro.
Why did Castro send his brother Raul to Moscow?
Mr. President, this is a Soviet challenge, and I emphasize Soviet.
Eliminating Castro.
I hope Khrushchev doesn't know more than we do.
Well, I suspect he does. General, I would not ask even one member of the United States Armed Forces to become involved in this ridiculous fiasco. There'll be another day to knock the stuffing out of Castro.
This is Granada. In a few weeks, cruise missiles will be deployed on British soil. Tonight, TVI takes a look at the shape of things to come.
There's 3 new series beginning on Granada this coming Wednesday. At 2 in the afternoon, it's Live from 2. Nick Turnbull presents the new Northwest show with star guests and up-to-the-minute items from our Studio 2. At 8:30 on Wednesday evening, Take My Wife, with Dougie Brown as a northern comic for whom nothing ever goes right. And then at 9:10, Once in a Lifetime, a new Wednesday night series which looks at turning points in people's lives.
Get it together, all together now, let's have a good time. Put your hands together with me, get it together. Hey, we got a few surprises in store. Just put your head round the door. Get it together.
Now look at the weather. Periods of rain, heavy at times with extensive hill fog, will gradually give way overnight to clearer weather, but with occasional showers. Lowest temperatures around 7 degrees centigrade, 45 Fahrenheit. Tomorrow all parts will have sunny intervals and occasional squally showers, some heavy and perhaps thundery. Feeling cold, temperatures no higher than 12 centigrade, 54 Fahrenheit. Winds increasing from the west overnight to become fresh to strong by morning, but decreasing again later. That's the weather.
Lock in, says top surgeon in Friday's IPV Shock Scoop.
One self-obsessed egomaniac steps out of the crowd and the whole medical profession's a laughingstock. National television, for Pete's sake. People are laughing their heads off in Gaelic.
Actually, I think they get their own programmes, don't they?
Like what?
Like most of your Pete Bog or something.
Surgical Spirit, ITV, Friday, 8:30.
Good afternoon. Now, how about spending a nice, relaxing half hour in the garden? Everything's going to be coming up roses for Penelope Keith, and Bill Oddie's doing something very strange around a pond, something to do with wildlife.
Thursday evening on
Granada and unprofessional behaviour from the boys in blue at 7:30.
Do you think you could just cool it a bit, Ted? I think professional car might make a better impression on Mrs. Price than your headless chicken.
You're not looking for Jenny. You're looking for the man who killed her.
Natalie's nightmare continues at 8.
It was taken in June. God knows what's happened since.
He told me to report to SS headquarters tomorrow morning at 8.
They both certainly look very well.
It's a quarter of an hour. I'll be dead.
We're squashing them into the ground.
More news from the entertainment scene in the Northwest at 11:30 in The New. Plus, an exclusive interview with Paul McCartney. Music from McCartney, Murder in the Bill and majestic drama for Thursday night on Granada.
Morning. Good morning. They're all at it, you know. They're all at it. Tina Turner, Sunita, Juliet Mills, Joan Collins, and even Janet Street Porter. They've all got toy boys. The younger man is in.
And I can't begin to imagine why.
Coronation Street, number 11.
That's all I wanted to know. Look, mate, you lay one more finger on Audrey, and you wish you'd never drawn breath. Got it? I think you've made yourself very clear, Sonny. Thanks. She's gonna love you.
She wanted to see him, Brian. I know she did.
Oh, what's stopping her? She knows where he lives.
She can't go around there. It makes it look like she's chasing him.
What happens if he lost his rug again and laid into her? She'd have a lot to thank you for then, wouldn't she?
He'll be all right. He's gonna get a lot more than he bargained for, I tell you.
Well, I'll be leaving my heart behind in this street. I will, honest. Thank you all very much.
Now you can all get back to doing what you do doing best. Enjoy yourself.